And what is up, all moviegoers? TCT and Elizabeth Pinky Squirrel back again. And today we are going to see Queen of the Ring. It is the story about Mildred Burke from the 1930s to the 1950s. She was the first multi-millionaire women's athlete.
That's really cool. At the 30s.
In the 30s.
In the 40s.
She was a single mother, incredible physique. Back in the time when women's wrestling was extremely illegal.
Oh.
It was a carnival sport.
Okay.
And
wow.
Mildred Burke decided she wanted to head up this program and kind of make it mainstream. Let's see if they can sell out Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
As like a women's revolution, so to speak, for wrestling. Now, guys, we did go see Iron Claw when that came out.
That was
This has the feel of it from what we saw in the trailer. Emily Bett Rickards plays Mildred Burke. You guys don't know who she is. She's Felicity Smoke in Arrow, and she's extremely jacked for this film. Jim Cornette is in this film. He is playing the NWA commissioner. Naomi's going to be in this film. Tony Storm is going to be in this film. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is going to be in this film. I know a lot of women's wrestlers are going to be in this film, so this is going to be interesting. It's a period piece, and it really kicked off women's sports. It's not just women's wrestling that was affected by this. It was how women are perceived through the future of their sports. She was the first multi-millionaire women's athlete, which means she was the richest athlete for women in the 1930s to the 1950s. You know what I'm saying?
That's impressive.
And it's really impressive. And you're just now learning about her.
Yes, and I put it in context of my grandmother, who her mother was a single mom.
Yes.
And the kids were forced to be handed to the neighbors because she couldn't take care of them. So this is really interesting.
This is going to be an interesting movie. Now, people are going to be like, "Well, this is going to be like really woke." No, this is a good period piece in which they show how women's wrestling got created. I don't think it's going to be like too. I think that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be respectful to Mildred Burke. I know Jim Ross and all these guys are involved in getting this movie created. And I'm excited to see this, man.
Me too.
I love Emily Bett Rickards. She was one of my favorite characters on Arrow when she played Felicity Smoke. I know she's going to kill it as Mildred Burke. I've got high hopes for this. So if I come out and it's bad, we're going to let you know. We're going to be a little disappointed, but I got a feeling it's going to be a good movie. I saw some early reviews. I haven't seen any spoilers, thank goodness, but I saw some early reviews. Wrestling fans are enjoying it, and they're liking it. I think it's got like a 79 Rotten Tomatoes score, which is pretty good for a wrestling movie. We did go see Iron Claw when it came out, and really enjoyed that movie. You didn't know anything about that family.
No, that made me cry.
She didn't know anything about the Von Erichs, and it's an incredible story. It's a sad and tragic story, but I met Carrie Von Erich and or Kevin Von Erich. I'm sorry,
neat.
Carrie's the one that had the motorcycle accident.
Right.
But I've met Kevin Von Erich here locally before, and he is an incredible person. He's really nice, really sweet human being. He was here for charity. Anytime you get a chance to meet some of these legends, guys, go do it, man. Like they come to cons all the time, and that's an incredible way to make yourself feel good about your childhood and stuff that you grew up idolizing. So we're going to go in, we're going to see Queen of the Ring, and we're going to hope it stands up. I mean,
think it's going to.
I think it's going to be good. You heard a little bit of the soundtrack.
I'm the music person.
Well, they did a new rendition of God's Gonna Cut You Down.
The female version.
The female version of the Johnny Cash song.
Excited.
I'm excited to hear what they do sound wise, and I'm excited to see this. I love period pieces. I showed you Pearl Harbor yesterday. And,
oh my gosh, that made me cry so bad.
Yeah, so if you want us to do a review for that, please let us know, and we'll do a review for Pearl Harbor. But guys, let's go see Queen of the Ring.
1, 2. Come on, Mom, get up.
Remember. 1, 2.
All right, guys, we're back from seeing Queen of the Ring. What did you think?
I loved it. I really did.
You said that you think this is now your new favorite movie of all time.
All time. I think it beat out Lawrence of Arabia and Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet. Amazing.
So this was probably the best wrestling movie I've ever watched. And that's going to be really controversial because people are going to be like, oh, another woman empowerment movie. You know what? This is one that actually is okay with me because it really happened.
It's real empowerment.
It's real empowerment. It's not something that Hollywood forced upon us. This really happened. This is what they need to be pushing when it comes to women's empowerment stuff in Hollywood. They need real period pieces and real inspiration and real people that inspired little girls. Yeah. And Mildred Burke absolutely did that.
Yes, she did. I mean, she's a real icon, not just a doll, but she's actually a person.
She was a person. Now, Emily Bett Rickards totally deserves an Oscar for what she did.
Oh my gosh, yes.
She was great. Josh Lucas was great. Francesca Eastwood was great. Jim Cornette was in it for a little bit. He was great. Tony Storm was great. All those I mentioned at the beginning of the film, they were fantastic in this movie. This was a period piece that was clean.
Very clean.
There was no nudity. There was no drugs.
No.
It was very family driven.
Yes.
And it showed hardship of wrestling.
Well, it was a single mom, so it was very family centered.
It was very family centered. A single mom growing up, raising her son, and her son at the end of the movie just basically telling her, you did good. You know what I'm saying? Didn't leave her side one bit. Josh Lucas, we mentioned Emily Bett Rickards playing Mildred. Yeah. Josh Lucas, who played Billy Wolf. I don't know how he did this transformation. I've seen him in other things like Need for Speed, Poseidon. You hadn't seen him at all.
I don't know what he looks like.
I've seen him in other stuff, and the man is very well fit. But the way he looks at the beginning of this movie, when he's in the old school wrestling, caveman style trunks and stuff, I want to know how they pulled that off, like makeup wise. He looked amazing.
Well, she changed too. Did you notice?
She really changed. She went from the grit to the glamour.
Yes.
And which was one of the greatest stories about one of the best wrestlers of all time, Gorgeous George.
I didn't know that story very well. But this, oh my gosh.
This movie really explained Gorgeous George.
It's beautiful.
If you're a Gorgeous George fan, this movie, you're going to love this movie. They did an excellent job explaining Gorgeous George.
Even if you're a fan, even if you don't understand modern wrestling, you got to go back and watch this movie. This is the foundation.
This movie is the foundation. It'll explain to people who do not know what wrestling is, what kayfabe is.
Yes, I learned that again.
What storytelling is.
Yep, and the glamour and glitz.
And the difference between a shoot match and a storied match.
Yeah, it's all made up. No.
So what is a shoot match? You now know what a shoot match is.
A shoot match is where it's for real. They're hitting each other for blood.
So back in the day, everybody knows wrestling is pre-planned, but when they decided we should just do a shoot match, they would let the two wrestlers fight it out in the ring. Yep. And basically, whoever knocked the other one out and pinned them, that's who took the belt. And they did that several times in this movie. Yes. They knew they were going in, and it was sanctioned and everything like that. So they went out and really fought sometimes. Yeah. The fans can't tell the difference.
Which is the beauty.
It's the beauty of it. It showed you how well promos were done, how the promoter had the two guys that were facing off against each other. They did this with Gorgeous George really well. The two guys that were facing each other, they would start saying lines back and forth, and the promoter would then just be like, no, say it this way. And then they would, they would just add in stuff, and then they'd go out to the ring, like literally right then and there and do it.
But that was a funny scene. Because he said, no, you got to make it rhyme.
You got to make it rhyme, yeah.
And I was like, oh, they do that now.
They do that now.
John Cena does it. He rhymes.
Yeah, he did it. He used to do it. Yeah, it's really well done. One of my favorite parts of the movie, and I told you this when we were coming out, was showing how it got started with the carnivals.
Yes.
It was a circus attraction where there was a strong woman in the ring they would bring up, what was it? It's a $25 bet that you could not beat this woman. $25 back in 1950?
No, it was 1930.
That was 1930. But still in the 40s and 30s, still, because the movie ended in the 50s. Right. So it was about 20 years through. But still, back in those days, $25.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money. Nobody beat her.
Nope. She cracked it.
And that was the fun part to see.
They even had the lady with the crystal ball.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, and she was next door to the ring. And I'm like, that, you could really see the foundation.
There were moments in this movie where I'm like, this is going to be really controversial. Yeah. Because there's a lot of old school wrestling fans out there that do not want people to see what goes on behind the scenes. They do not want a movie like this made.
I think this movie could not have been made until after the McMahon documentary came out.
Until after... There you go.
Yeah.
Until after the McMahons gave up the company to TKO, the WWE to TKO, right. We're now starting to get a little bit more behind the scenes with pro wrestling, thanks to, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, those at TKO who are allowing that to happen. But this had nothing to do with the WWE.
No, it didn't.
This had to do with the NWA and the territories back then.
Oh, it really explained that well. I didn't understand.
Yes.
Like, what is WWE? And you were like, oh,
it doesn't exist yet.
It's when all the territories came together.
So the World Wrestling Federation is when certain territories came together and formed one giant federation. So this one was like World Championship Southern Wrestling down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
But then Texas was separate.
Texas was separate, Texas wrestling. Then you had the NWA, which was the New York wrestling, up in New York, New Jersey, where women's wrestling was illegal.
Illegal in Madison Square Garden.
Well, just like I said before we went to see the movie, this was, how in the world are we going to get women's wrestling to compete in Madison Square Garden? Because the guy was making a point of that in the movie. He should take place. And she never did get to compete in the Garden, but she didn't need to compete in the Garden. We all know what kind of a legend she was. My favorite part of the movie, honestly, other than, the wrestling stuff was great, but my favorite part of the movie was watching her back and forth with Billy Wolf.
Oh my gosh.
That was some epic drama.
But then it blended into the wrestling just like I've seen before in the modern stuff.
Well,
I'm like,
I hadn't told her anything about Mildred or Billy Wolf until we went to see this.
I hadn't heard about her. Now I'm going to go find the book.
Well, it's not just the book. There's documentaries about Billy Wolf back in the day. He is the reason women's wrestling became a thing. And it all started with Mildred. And I'm going to tell you, man, Emily Bett Rickards did such a great job. I was so impressed with her.
Did you notice the guy who played Billy Wolf? They gave him a prosthetic cauliflower ear.
Josh Lucas?
Yep.
Yeah.
They gave him cauliflower ear.
They did.
Which I thought was a really good detail.
Dude, if those two don't win some kind of award for this is what makes me hate the Oscars. I just watched the Oscars the other night. Several movies that won the Oscar. No. I had no idea what they were or that they were even out. That's kind of what ticks me off about this movie. This was not well promoted.
No, they're going to ignore it, even though it's about bringing people together.
Look, man, Mickey Rourke's Wrestler won the Oscar for Best Picture back in 2008.
That's a while.
Iron Claw was nominated for an Oscar 2 years ago.
Did it?
No, it didn't win,
I didn't think
but
so.
it was nominated. This movie, it seems like it's been an afterthought.
Yeah.
And the only reason I knew it was coming out was at Christmas, they had the teaser trailer, and I'm like, oh, this might be good. I forgot completely because nothing on the TV showed me this was coming out anytime soon.
No.
Until last week when I was watching Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wait a minute, let me show Liz this trailer. Do you want to go see this?
Didn't they play it side by side?
They did it.
They had the live, and then they had the trailer.
They did it side by side, and I'm like, why just now?
Yeah.
Because what made me sad is this is one of the best movies I've seen in, I would say, the last 18 months.
Oh.
You know,
what I'm gonna say.
I'm superheroed out. I like look, man. As you can see, I love my superheroes. I do not want to go see Thunderbolts.
These are real life, iconic,
and
they could be superheroes.
We need more. We need more of this. Sumerian Studios, Sumerian Pictures, you did a phenomenal job, man.
You know, they've only done a handful.
Yeah, they've only done a few.
They're a big record company, though.
I told Liz when we came out of this movie that if they got a hold of the rights to do an Andre the Giant movie, Andre the Giant is the film that I've always wanted made. Everybody was like, "Well, a Hulk Hogan movie." No. Say what you will about Hulk Hogan, I don't want to see Hulk Hogan made. It's not time for that. It's not time for Hulk Hogan. Andre the Giant changed wrestling forever.
Well, you got to capture the stories before the people around him go away.
But it's such an intriguing story with Andre because the man literally just kept growing until he popped.
Well, and they had a guy, I think his name was Edward, and he was in P.T. Barnum's, and he was the same as Andre, same.
I want to see the story now, guys. If you haven't already, go over to Max and watch the Andre the Giant documentary that they did.
Gosh, that made me cry.
So that way you know exactly what that man went through. The greatest moment in his career was getting slammed by Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3, which is crazy because Andre was undefeated his entire career until that night. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time he was ever a bad guy. Mm-hmm. Ever.
Oh, they teach you about heels and baby faces in this really well.
They teach you heels and baby faces literally in the first 10 minutes.
I did, and there's a line at the end. You should have been heel. You should have turned heel.
Dude, Francisca.
Do you remember?
Francisca Eastwood. Played Mae Young. Guys, if you don't know who Mae Young is, look her up. She is very beloved in the wrestling community. They do the Mae Young Classic every year in her honor. Mae Young was one of them. She was 100 years old. She was 99, I believe. She was 100 years old when she passed.
I think that's what they said.
They did her I think 99th birthday on Monday Night Raw, and she passed that year. Aww. And she was one of the funnest people to watch. She was dirty as all can be. I'm gonna just tell you right now, like she was filthy lady, but she was her. And she was real. Mm-hmm. And Francisca Eastwood, bravo. She was, as soon as I saw her, I'm like, that's Mae Young. I said that, like literally I'm like, that's Mae Young. And you're like, who's Mae Young? She I'm gonna show her some moments with Mae Young, man. I grew up, Mae Young was an old lady when I watched Bubba Dudley do the powerbomb through the table when I was a kid. And then I watched Kurt Angle slam her.
Oh.
She's the one that Kurt Angle slammed. You saw that, right? The old lady? That's Mae Young.
No, but that reminded me of the moves we saw towards the end, especially. You had the Sheamus banger after banger.
Yeah, they were doing the Sheamus.
Yeah.
And Liz was like, oh my God. I'm like, this is where the moves come from. These are old school moves.
I was like, that's Sheamus.
Yes.
But it was Millie.
She was picking apart. And then the bulldog, where they face plant to the ground. That's been done by countless superstars.
And the alligator one. Mm-hmm. What was it? Alligator?
Yeah, the alligator submissions. The Texas crossface.
Yeah.
The clover leaf, which is the leg lock where they lay on,
And then there was the girls on the outside where their teammates would jump in and distract. And,
like lumberjacks,
They would jump in and distract the ref.
I forgot that they were called the Wolf Pack, and that's a real thing. They were called the Wolf Pack because they were the females wrestlers of Billy Wolf, and that was a really good name for those girls. Now I thought I knew this story, but I literally thought the way Emily Bett Rickards was playing this, because Mildred Burke was a Southern girl, right?
Southern.
So when the three, black girls, for lack of a better word, I'm not trying to tick anybody off here, but when the three black girls showed up and they're like, look, we got some colored wrestlers, the first colored wrestlers, right?
Yeah,
or the female wrestlers.
And way before Martin Luther King.
It's way before.
I'm like, they're desegregating wrestling before they desegregated the nation.
Now, you guys know Naomi from WWE. She's one of them. She's in the movie as well. Toni Storm was in the movie too, but Naomi was one of them. When they put their hand out to say hello, Burke was the first one to do it.
Right.
But the way she was like, Because I was like, oh no, she's Southern. She's not going to like that they're black. Nope, she was the first one to put her hand out.
No, she was figuring out that they're triplets, huh?
And, the beauty is you get to see what a good woman she was. She was an amazing human being.
That one speech, oh my God.
Well, it's not just that.
No.
My favorite scene with Mildred was when Billy had his own promotion and they were in the stairway. He's like, Mom, if you keep paying them their full salary, you're not going to have enough for yourself. Never mind me, pay the girls.
And you hear the girls talking in the back.
And because they know what's going on, and they're like, are you good? She's like, yeah, I'm good. Just keep doing what you're doing,
Naomi, I forgot who she played, but
yeah,
she was one of the ones who pointed out. But it's like, hey, she's
that was Babs.
Yeah,
that was the one that played Babs.
Yeah, and they were like, hey, she's going through a hard time. But she's the only one who. Yeah,
they helped and everything. It was such a good movie, man. They did a good job playing on people's emotions really well.
And the art of the movie, and the way they moved the timeline, that when they moved to the 50s, I noticed because she looked like a Barbie doll with the vertical black and white striped bathing suit. But you noticed because of the music. Mm-hmm. Which song was it?
It was Richie Valens. They were playing. Well, come on, let's go, little darling. I've seen La Bamba so many times that I know Richie Valens. And you guys will see on my channel, go way back when I started the channel, I did in high school. This was my high school video. You guys will see it. It's one of my first videos I did where I did a documentary about the day the music died. And well, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go was a Richie Valens song. Right. Then they were playing his You're Mine and We Belong Together. It was Richie Valens.
It gave you a sense of where we are in the years.
Yes.
So that was brilliant.
They were right at the end of the 50s. Mm-hmm. They were like in 56, 57.
You could tell.
You could tell because Richie was only a thing they were almost at 60 at 1960 because Richie was only a thing for a short period of time. He I think it was like 8 months and then he died. So his stuff was on the radio. So that's when I think it was like 57, 58 maybe. I think it was 58 when they ended the movie. Yeah. And when she faced off against June in that final fight, that's the best part of the movie, I think.
And the music is amazing.
Well, the music.
I'm gonna have to go find this.
Yeah, the music. Record. The music. Congrats to that composer. We didn't look up who it was.
No, but the sing. I mean, Zoe Wees did the first song.
Right.
I was like, whoa, she's a contemporary. I know her as a pop music singer, and they were having her sing old Southern songs. Yeah, they did. I love the. To your credit, the use of the banjo in the whole score, man. Oh my gosh!
Just the Southern banjo because she's a Southern girl.
You could always harken back to Tennessee.
Yes, all the way back to Tennessee, and you've been talking about wanting to go to Tennessee for so long. We got to get you to Tennessee.
I know.
One day we're gonna do it after my surgery. We'll probably go next summer, hopefully. But I'm telling you, man, this. What did I give Iron Claw an A? I gave Iron Claw an A, right? This is higher to me.
This is higher, yeah.
Now look, I love the Von Erichs. I loved Zac Efron was great in that movie. That movie was too fast paced for me. The Iron Claw skipped over a lot of stuff, like dramatic stuff that I kind of wanted to see. Mm-hmm. It just went from because there was so much depth in it. It was just like it jumped from person to person to person's story, and they all got their time to shine, but you didn't focus on the psychological effect that stuff was having on the brothers until like the very end.
Yeah.
And this one, the way he used to beat Mildred. Oof. The way he used to beat Mildred. Yes. The scene where she had with her mom, she's like, I can sit here and take it because of all those little girls that look up to me. If I were to put this in the media, all they would see is some woman who stayed with the wrong man for all these years. They used to beat on her, and what good would that do them? I was like, holy shit.
Oh, that was when she told Mom to hang up the phone from calling the police.
Right.
She's like, whoa.
But then they turned their divorce kind of into kayfabe.
Yeah, and they kind of now
it worked territorial wise.
That documentary, you got it all kind of blends.
It worked territorial wise. It was beautifully done. It was so beautifully done. This was a really good movie.
The details, the music,
and I know I say that about a lot of movies, guys, but I'm only speaking the truth. I liked it.
This was a work of
This
art.
is one I definitely want to watch again as soon as it comes out.
It's definitely, we're going to have it physically.
Oh, we're physically going to probably have the Blu-ray.
No
Absolutely.
digital stuff. I got to have it.
Yeah, she said this is her favorite movie now.
Yes.
I've showed her a ton of movies over the last 2 years. You guys have seen it on the channel. You know, I thought Titanic and Forrest Gump. Like, what was your favorite that we had done before?
What was my favorite?
We done Deadpool, Wolverine, Beetlejuice, Titanic.
I think it was Forrest Gump.
She enjoyed Forrest Gump.
I think but this one, oh my god.
Well, I had a feeling she would probably want to see this. She didn't know it was coming out until probably 2 days ago.
No idea.
So 2 days ago. And I was like, well, let's go this weekend. We kind of need it. We've had a rotten week, man. But this helped.
Yeah.
It really helped.
We needed an outing.
We needed this. Guys, if I could give this a star rating, it's a 5. If I, say what you will. You definitely can tell some stuff was staged and stuff. Who cares?
It was beautiful.
It was so well done.
Yeah.
Who cares? There's going to be people who's like, oh, in the middle, there wasn't that much wrestling. There was, after I would say of the first hour, it would kind of cut more towards story, and then we got more of the wrestling later on.
You needed that.
Yeah. Your girl that you liked.
Deborah Ann Wool.
Deborah Ann Wool was in it.
Oh, when she showed up, I didn't know she was going to be in it. And I got so excited because she has that southern accent from True Blood.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, she's in True Blood. Mm-hmm. But guys, Daredevil is out, and she's Karen in Daredevil. Yes. If you guys I know there's a lot of you that watched my Daredevil trailer, and I did see the first 2 episodes. She plays Karen in Daredevil. She's Gladys in this one. Oh. And if you guys don't know the story about Gladys, look it up. I don't want to tell you. I don't want to spoil you anything. It's she did so wonderful in this movie, though, playing her.
Her enthusiasm. She's always like this in everything she does. But that fits so perfect.
Other than the main 2, who was your favorite character?
I like May.
Like Francesca did so good.
Did you see she was wearing pants at the end? In the 50s as a lady? I'm like, whoa.
She didn't want men looking at her that way.
It was a power thing.
It's a power thing.
I was just like, whoa.
It's a tough one for me because they all did so good. I know Emily was my favorite part of the movie. Emily and Josh, they did so good. God. Jim Cornette was in it for a little bit. Toni Storm did an excellent job. That role that she played, that was supposed to be Liv Morgan, but she had gotten injured.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's what I heard. I don't know. You guys can correct me down there in the comments, but I'm trying to think, man, because I really liked the promoters that played in this. The dude from Justify, I keep forgetting his name. It's Josh something. Was it Josh Hamilton? I don't know. I can't remember. I think it is Josh Hamilton, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe. But he's the guy from Justified. He's one of the promoters in this. Oh man, Francesca Eastwood. She was great, man. I don't know if I can. I mean, the son did good. They all did so good.
And they had the chemistry. I have never seen a movie with so many characters that had that strong a chemistry.
Chemistry was down.
I mean, usually, you'll see it, and there's maybe 3 with really good chemistry. They all.
I'm trying to think who else could have beat Francesca as co-runner up. Can't think of it, man. She played Mae Young to perfection.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm trying here, but nope. I'm gonna say Francesca Eastwood. Francesca Eastwood. Best character outside of Mildred Burke and Billy Wolf as Mae Young. She was amazing. She did a great job too. There's nothing else to say, man. I know I got a lot of wrestling friends that are watching this right now, being like, "You can't be serious. This is called Queen of the Ring." I'm like, go see it.
Well, what I loved about it is I started telling you this in the beginning. Because it brought me closer to my grandmother, who I never met. Because her mother was a single mother in the 30s with all these kids in South Dakota. She was forced to give her kids out to the neighbors as not even hired hands. Just here, have a kid.
Yeah.
Because she was a single mom in the 30s. And you can't keep your kids. So when she did that, and I know Mildred was in the same time as my great-grandmother and my grandmother.
She was born in 1915, just so you know.
I'm like, whoa, that's... Because I've heard stories. My grandmother, she was a Rosie the Riveter. She worked at Boeing, I think. She just was an amazing lady. I wish I had met her, but it made me feel close to her.
This brought that period in time so forefront, man. Like I said, I love the showmanship of this. It really showed the behind the scenes of pro wrestling, especially in those days. You didn't have much to go on other than Heels. Heels is a great show. Oh, the girl that stars in Heels, she's the red woman that Billy Wolf was pushing everybody aside for. The one she was rubbing her shoulder. The little one.
The little one. Okay.
Yeah. I keep forgetting the character's name because, it's still fresh in my head. But, she played on Heels with Stephen Amell and Alexander Ludwig. I hate that they canceled that show, man. That was such a good wrestling show. But, Stephen Amell's doing Suits LA now, so. And Alexander Ludwig, he's off to great things. He's an amazing actor. But, I give this A+, 10 out of 10.
This is a keeper.
It's a keeper, especially for wrestling fans. Now, as an overall movie, I saw the critic scores gave it a 72. Yeah, it's 70, 80, something like that. It's not a perfect movie. It really isn't. It's not a perfect movie. But for a wrestling fan, this is what you want.
It had so much thought behind it. And
yes.
That's what I love.
The idea of this, it's like, it can only get better. The reason why I'm holding out, I know why this is like an 80, because they want a movie of one of these big superstars, like maybe a Macho Man Randy Savage movie.
No, to have the Millie be the first one of these movies.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my.
Yeah, but
that's saying something itself too.
But it's because that's who really brought that to the forefront. You're seeing the women's revolution in WWE and AEW today, and then they wrestled in Japan. Remember, it said
she said at the
she
very
took
end.
She took it over to Japan for the Mildred Burke took women's wrestling to Japan, and it became huge. Like we have stars like Asuka, Io Sky, all them today.
Wait, when did she go to Japan? Was it after World War II?
It was after the movie took place. It was after World War II.
Yeah, that's huge.
I think it was. They said in the 60s and late 50s and 60s, something like that. She went.
Whoa.
Yeah, she went to Japan.
American going to Japan.
Yeah, it was
to wrestle.
She was literally the woman on the bottle.
Yeah,
woman with the bottle on the poster.
I think I've seen that in.
Where she's like, she did that throughout the whole movie. They were really trying to capture that, I'm
Rosie.
A strong woman.
Rosie.
I'm a strong woman, but she's got the milk in her hand.
I love that.
Yeah, that's literally what they were trying to present her as in this movie, and I was all there for it. I thought it was great. Yeah. A lot of people are going to watch this and be like, oh, this was too feminine, this was too woke. No, it was not.
Think about it.
This was a good family movie that dealt with real problems. They didn't push feminism in this at all. Like, look at the Mattel scene.
No, I only picked up on it because it was her bathing suit. They didn't say anything. It was just a bathing
suit. Yeah, they did this swimsuit catalog for Life.
The cover of Life.
And it was literally in all the Barbie outfits.
Yes. And she was the very first Barbie, that black and white.
The black and white Barbie. So she dressed up in all the Barbie costumes. They dressed
the
up
hat too.
They did everything. And that's literally what it was, man. So guys, Go see it. Queen of the Ring. It's out for. I guess it's going to be for a short time. Our theater had maybe like 5 people in it. That's what kind of ticked me off.
We were the only ones who pre-bought.
Oh, we were the only ones who pre-bought. You can see who pre-buys. They came in just on a whim, and nobody bought the tickets for the showtime tonight, so they canceled the showtime. Which I'm like, that's because this was poorly marketed. Whoever marketed this is an idiot. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you to your face. Mm-hmm. Whoever you are, guy of marketing, you guys created an amazing movie. Mm-hmm. You suck. Mm-hmm. You suck. Yeah. You can't promote it just during WWE.
No.
You can't promote it just in the movie theaters.
No.
You can't do it. So guys, Queen of the Ring, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, A+.
My favorite of all time.
Her favorite now of all time. I'm pretty sure that's going to change coming up soon. We got Lilo and Stitch and all that coming out.
I don't know.
I don't
You'll
know.
have to stay tuned.
I don't know. You guys know what I'm prepared for. But guys, like I said, if I can't get to a bunch of movies this year, I'm having a surgery. That's why. I'm gonna do some reviews once I'm able to. But I'm going to keep trying to shell out as many of these movie reviews as I can before I have my surgery. It's going to be sometime in the summer.
There's a lot of things coming.
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming this summer. Like I know Superman, Karate Kid, and Jurassic World. All that comes out at the same time I'm having the surgery. How to Train Your Dragon. Same time I'm having the surgery. Yeah. Lilo and Stitch. Same time I'm having the surgery. All these movies we want to see. I'm going to be bedridden, so I'm not going to be able to go see everything. I might be able to get out of bed and go see something, but I'm not for sure. So if she goes and sees it, then I can watch it on digital when it comes out and then give you a review. We did finish American Primeval. We'll sit down and do a review at some point.
That's going to take some.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. That's going to take... She wants to watch it one more time. So, if you guys are wondering where that is, she wants to watch it one more time. The reason why I haven't sat down and done the new Spider-Man series yet is because I haven't watched it yet. I'm currently watching through the Daredevil Born Again right now. It's only 2 episodes in. So, guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And we're almost at 700. We should be at 700 at some point this week. We're getting close to 1,000, man. You guys... If you stick around, you help out the watch times, and then I can start unlocking some cool features for you, where I can make some T-shirts and sell you a couple things if you want. And I'm not going to overcharge like some of these guys do. I see people charging $40, $50 for T-shirts. No. I'm not going to do that. I'll have them made for $5 a shirt, and I might sell them for $15. If I'm going to make sure they get sold, and then they go out to you. So that's if I decide to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that would be kind of fun to set up a booth maybe at a con one day, and
maybe we'll see.
We'll see. We'll just have to see what cons come to the area.
This movie got you dreaming, didn't it?
The movie definitely gets you dreaming. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that line a lot. I like that line a lot. Do you want to be a dreamer? That's from Landman, by the way. Do you want to be a dreamer, or do you want to be a loser? Well, I want to be a dreamer. Well, all dreams fail, so you're eventually going to be a loser. So if you start out a loser, then your dreams might come true one day with hard work. I'm like, we've been watching Landman. That is a hell of a line. It's like, and that plays true to Queen of the Ring. So guys, Queen of the Ring, go see it in theaters now, and hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, TCT and Elizabeth Pinky Squirrel signing off. We'll see you again on the next movie review.